Christ. Through our praise, we will exalt God's name. We will seek to teach others how to serve Him by using our lives as examples. All that we do would be in vain if we don't love one another. If you have to define who we are, please let our work and action in the vineyard of the Lord speak for itself. But if you must say something, Spirit of Praise Ministry is an independent SDA-based organization with the sole purpose to be a vessel for the Lord. For there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. Of Praise Ministry and there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. 1 Corinthians 12, verses 4 through 7. We will continue to strive to be a bridge between us and our Heavenly Father. Welcome to our family. God bless.
This is Geraldine Andre, and I am now meeting with the visionary, the leader of SOP, Mr. Hans Regis. So I'd like to ask you, Hans, tell us a little bit of the history of SOP. How did it start? Where did it start? And things of that nature.
Well, first of all, thank you, Geraldine, for interviewing us today. Let me see. 8 years ago, they gave me a task because they had a Haitian Federation, so I was the music leader for the Haitian Federation.
Okay.
And after a year, that kind of fell off a little bit. So instead of just let the gift and the talent and the calling that God put on my life for music ministry. So when the praise team that we put together for the Haitian Federation came about, then when that went off, we just kept the praise team, which was about 20 members. It was a choir at first. Then it became a praise team. Then it became SOP. So about 7, 8 years old.
Nice. I want to ask you, who are your musical and non-musical influences?
I don't think I have a non-musical influences. Why? I think because I am classically trained and I started to take piano lessons since I was 5. So I think every kind of genre that I learn and things that I hear, I tend to once in a while or once in a blue moon put it into music, or when I'm playing, there's different flavors. So I don't think that there's some people or some type of music that I don't listen to. But my major big influence, if somebody knows me, they know I'm a big Richard Smallwood fan.
Nice.
Once you hear me play, you hear a couple of SOP songs, you could see the Richard Smallwood written all over it. So that's my biggest inspiration musically.
Fantastic. So we would like to know, I'm sure, what are your dreams and aspirations for the ministry of SOP?
I learned this the hard way. My dream for the ministry doesn't matter. Right now, I learned and I started to write on God's dream for this ministry. Because the dream and aspiration I had 7 years ago, it's either I was way too advanced or it was a man-made dream.
Okay.
And to that point, I was getting frustrated because my realization, my dream and my goal, my bigger picture wasn't coming to reality. So I had to say, yo, and God and I had a conversation, or he talked to me and said, dude, like, chill out. This is me, guiding SOP. It's not you. So I don't want to sound pessimistic or not knowing what I'm doing, but right now I'm in a journey with God in this ministry that I don't know when's the next step's gonna be. 2 years ago, we had a chance to minister with Byron Cage. That was not part of my plan. We went to Haiti twice. That was not part of my plan. So a lot of things are happening, what that has happened in the life of the ministry. In a million years, I didn't think that was gonna happen, or in a million years, or financially or humanly possible, I couldn't make it happen. So honestly, I don't know what this ministry is gonna be in 5 years. The only thing that I know is I'm not gonna give up, and awesome. I'm anticipating and anxious and excited and to see where SOP is gonna be this time next year.
Awesome. Well, it takes a lot of humility to be able to admit that, because a lot of people don't admit it. They kind of feel like they know exactly where they're going and take charge, but the Bible does say that man makes the plans, but it is God that carries them out. So it seems like in the ministry of SOP, God is the driver of this ship, and yes. If he is the driver of the ship, that's the best place to be. So my next question for you is, who writes the songs for SOP?
if you can tell, it's and when I started this ministry, or when God called me to start this ministry, I wanted to have a corporate approach, a group approach to ministry. We don't have just one set of writers. Right now, we are in the process of finishing our full album.
Nice.
So we have like a writing crew.
Okay.
It's made of about 5 or 6 ministry members, and everybody has a part in it. Some of them are better lyrically, and others are better, with the rhythm and the things like that. But put together, it's a collective approach, which at the end of the day, it kind of kills the ego aside,
right.
because nobody could say this is my song, or
right.
this is I wrote this, or I made this arrangement, because I myself as a leader, I cannot say this is what I did, and I'm the leader of the ministry. Right. So meaning that I have my hands in all the songs. Every member on the writing team has their hands in every song. So when the song is going to come out or something happens, it's going to say recorded and arranged by SOP Ministry.
Right.
So it is everybody's collaboration for the songs.
That's amazing. So my next question for you is, how do you promote maybe your outings for the ministry or your concerts? What mediums do you use to do that?
Right now, social media is big, and it's going to get bigger.
Okay.
So right now, we promote primarily on social media. We have a Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and we also have a website, www.sopatl.org. I know, I have to memorize that. I think that's it. But as time goes by and things evolve, we need to stay with the time. So probably in the next couple of months and couple of months to come, we will have to revamp our marketing process and see how to better be available to the audience that we serve. Okay.
So if someone was to anticipate to coming to one of your concerts or your shows, what would it look like visually and musically?
That's a hard question. I'm kind of set in my ways, to be honest with you. And if you talk to the previous members, it's a hard group to deal with, because sometimes they'll tell me, we're not doing the same show we did 2 years ago. Like, dude, you need to do something else. Like, our last concert, we went completely out the box. And to be honest with you, I had to stay away from the planning, because it's like, this is not me. This is not, I would not do that. Okay. So, there's different times. Sometimes we do worship service in the morning. So when that happens, there's a certain, format we kind of keep. But as far as knowing exactly what you're going to get, the exact sound, you really can't. You just have to be there to enjoy it, because God doesn't bless us the same way twice. So what's the point of repeating the same concert and the same show twice?
Good. So I hope you remember that next time you want to repeat one of your shows.
Best believe my other members would not let that happen. They won't.
Awesome. So what is kind of like your outlook on the gospel recording industry right now?
Wow, that's we should have a different interview for that one. That's a long interview that we don't have probably time to get into it. Very progressive, very, very progressive, to the point that I'm afraid we may end up losing ourselves to the world. I think I'm gonna just leave it at that, because that's a whole different. Right. That's the point where we're trying to use all the technologies, all the sound, and a lot of us, we collaborating with different genre. We're trying to mix and match. That's a whole different topic. But it's very progressive. Okay. That's all I'll say.
That's fair. Yes. So we kind of want to know, just Hans, as a person. So tell us, what's a day in your life look like?
A day in my life. By trade, I'm a respiratory therapist. I take care of the lungs. I do a lot of life support. So I do have a career in something opposite to SOP. So that's that. I have a family. So then I work night shift. So a typical day for me starts at 2 p.m. And then I'll go do my little, I do my father routine, take care of the kids, and I'll go to work. I work night shift, so I'll be out around 6 p.m. and then I won't get off till the next day at 7 a.m. And when I get home, I practice, take care of myself, and go to bed and do it again. So I'm a regular average guy taking care of given talent and responding to a calling. It's hard, but did it for 8 years, and I can't wait to see what else God has for me.
Awesome. So, what inspires you to do what you do? And it doesn't have to be musically, just in general.
I think I can't find the right verse in the Bible. That's kind of bad. But the way I understand that. But what I wanted to address, I think everybody has a calling and has a purpose and has a role they play in the grand scheme of things. Okay. And to me, I take my calling and my role very, very. I'm accountable to what I need to do. Okay. If we're gonna take music, like I don't do it as a living, but I train myself hard enough to stay current and to be able to relate and to teach and to perfect the gift that God gave me. Same thing as a respiratory therapist, that I try my best to provide the best care. So at the end of the day, you always have to try your best, because you just never know when that opportunity is going to open up for you, and you need to be ready to grab it.
Awesome. So I'd like to know, Hans, what are some of your pet peeves?
This interview is going to be way too short for that answer too. Let's just stick it to ministry. Pet peeve in ministry. Mm-hmm. That's better.
There you go.
I think most of my group members said about accountability. I work about 5 to 6 nights a week, and my night 7 is going to be rehearsal. If I say I'm gonna write SOP, that's the calling God gave me, and I think I have the duty into God, into my other members, to be there. So accountability is great. I'm not gonna say the word hate, but I highly dislike when somebody gonna tell me I'm gonna do something and you don't do it, because I try my best not to be that type of person. And the other one is laziness. I'm sorry to say that. Like, sometimes you could see they have the gift, the potential, and you could see. Can you tell sometimes when somebody is gifted but did not apply their gift? Right. Just because I'm gifted, I don't need to practice. Just because I'm gifted, I don't need to spend the hours on my craft. They don't perfect their craft, but they gifted. I think I'll stop here, because we could just go all night. I think I'll stay with this too.
And how has SOP positively affected your life?
That answer has to become with maturity. Honestly, when you look at every obstacle you go through, all those issues, to be a leader, to be a pastor, to be their guardian, to be all these things, 90% of the time it's like, why am I putting up with this? That was my first answer. It's like, wow, I'll just another rehearsal when nobody's going to show up. Or you see the negative first, but I think SOP has brought me humility, patience, and definitely closer to God. I didn't have any patience whatsoever. And again, I think it's God teaching me that if I call you for ministry and I give you these people, and to be honest with you, I try to change them. Maybe they never said that in the interview, but I try to change every single one of them. It's like, dude, you're not doing, it's time for you to go. But for some reason, they're still here after 8 years. So I think it's God telling me that this is the flock that I gave you, and I'm going to train you for greater things in life, but I need you to be trained in SOP. I think the training that I'm getting in SOP is building me up for management position in life, is building me up for how to manage different things in different venues and higher realm of life. But my training in life is coming from SOP.
Phenomenal.
So I think that's what I learned from that.
Great. Well, last question. If you had to give anyone out there who is desiring or have the love to start a ministry like yours, what advice would you give them in just a couple of words?
Seek God, stay with God at all times. It's not easy. There's no fame. There's no money for now, hopefully. And even when the money comes, it has to come for a purpose. It has to be ministry first, and it has to become selfless. You cannot see self in ministry. You cannot see, this is what I want to do. You cannot see fame first, that I need to make it to this stage. I need to sing with this person. I need to open up for this person. This person cannot be in my ministry. You cannot It cannot be that way because it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about any of these members, because members change, faces change, but the ministry stayed the same because God is at the center of it all. So if you want to start a ministry, pray first. Know if that's the calling for you. And if that's the calling, be ready for some hard times, but it's all worth it at the end.
Awesome.
I wouldn't change it.
Amazing. Well, the Bible says that you will know a tree by its fruits. And I can honestly say that I see the fruits of your labor. Speaking with the women of SOP, it's brought them together. The ministry has been an outlet for them to kind of express themselves and just receive direction from God. The guys, they've been able to kind of open up and grow a brotherhood. And even for you, it's allowed you to kind of develop into this amazing man of God, a leader and a minister and a family man. So once again, continue to do the work that God has mandated for you to do. And it was a privilege and an honor to interview Hans Regis, the leader and visionary behind SOP.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is Geraldine Andre, and I have the wonderful privilege of speaking to the men of SOP. So I'm going to let them go ahead and introduce themselves. First name.
All right, my name is Richardson, and I'm a managing member of SOP.
My name is Ralphie, and I'm a tenor in SOP.
My name is Claude Pierre. I am the music director and a tenor in SOP.
And my name is Jean Nevelis. I am a member of the group. I'm a tenor, and I'm also the treasurer.
Fantastic. So, guys, I have a couple of questions for you. Okay, my first question, and you can all kind of just answer however, in whatever order you feel more comfortable. My first question is, when did you first start singing or playing an instrument, and when did you know that you were falling in love with music?
Well, for me, it was back in home in Brooklyn, joining the children's choir at church. And from there, also watching my parents singing in groups.